leaf litter. So if you're not in love with leaves in the ground, I'm hoping by the end of this video, your heart is pounding. Leaves are a garden elixir. The more we leave and not blow, rake, and dispose of, the more the world becomes alive around us. So we need to back up just a little bit. Last year, my neighbor indicated that she wanted to expand the garden. And it's always easy to be enthusiastic when a garden is in full bloom and looking beautiful. So I felt like early this spring I needed to confirm with her, did she actually want to expand her garden? Hey Ying! Hey, are you still serious about wanting to expand your garden?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so maybe about here?
No, actually over here. I want Texas rock roses here.
Not sure I'm going to have enough leaves for my next project. And so the process begins. So we should celebrate the removal of non-native turf grass and more space being made available to wildlife. But the main reason for this video is leaves. So one of the concerns I always have before starting a project is the availability of leaves as a mulch, which means I sometimes need to be creative. Gotta hide the cargo. What? That's ridiculous. So while it might be more interesting for me to say that I'm stealing the leaves, I do actually ask permission to take them. So are there any benefits to using leaf litter as mulch? I spent a good deal of my working years in sales, but selling leaves is not easy. This just isn't me anymore, so I just don't think it's going to work. Let me go change. Ah, it's much better. So I feel my selling points are logical, but that doesn't mean it's easy. So let me tell you a little story. You hire a yard crew to come into your yard and they cut the grass and then they blow all the leaves out of your beds and everything else and pile them up. Well, not only do they blow away the leaves, they blow away the mulch that you've paid for and all the topsoil. So let me show you what the result of that looks like. So here's an example where you can see that the leaves have been blown away, topsoil, and you have the roots starting to be exposed over years of blowing. You don't want this. The roots need to be in the dirt, not necessarily buried all the way, because they do need to breathe somewhat, but they do need to have leaves and cover on them, and this will shorten the life of the tree. So here's another example. This is in the entrance to my neighborhood, and the township has been just scalping the grass that was here, blowing leaves, and they've exposed all the roots. And I'm actually standing in a gully that's now starting to have some erosion. So I'm selling against the companies that have been telling us for decades what a beautiful yard looks like. This includes traditional landscapers, yard crews, and the chemical industry, which provides fertilizer, herbicides, pesticides, and other yard chemicals. One of the things you can do to help your trees and the little creatures that live in your area is to create flower beds underneath your tree. I created this one many years ago, And this obviously used to be grass, but I'm just not a big fan of non-native turf grass. And so now my yard is one big flower bed. So I think we can all agree that change is never easy. And this story is either going to be funny or scary depending on your perspective. So let's say there's an individual that decides they're going to continue to blow every leaf off their property they can find. More than likely at some point in time they're going to have a knock at the door, and there's going to be a guy standing there who's going to say, hey, I was driving by and noticed your flower beds could use some mulch. For $500 I'll put 3 inches of mulch in each one of your flower beds. How's that sound? Now they may also get a knock on the door with another person that says, look, I've noticed your trees, bushes, flowers, they don't seem to be doing that well. I think they need additional nutrients. Would you like me to apply fertilizer to help all those plants and provide additional nutrients? Now, it's ironic because the leaves that we've been removing are kind of like a slow release fertilizer in mulch form. As they decompose, the nutrients in those leaves go back in the soil and are reused by all the plants in our yard. Now, as I thought about this, I was kind of like, God, this sounds like we're being scammed. So you got a lawn and you want to blow the leaves off the yard because it makes it look neat. Well, okay, take those leaves and put them in the flower beds. Now you may be thinking, well, I got way too many leaves for the flower beds. Okay, expand the flower beds. That's even better for the environment and you'll save even more money.
There have been a couple of times where I've taken too many leaves from a landscaping crew, which has required me to sell them. As I've been delivering the leaves to neighbors in a wagon, I felt a little bit like a Girl Scout delivering cookies. I actually didn't sell the leaves, I gave them away to be used as mulch or to be composted.
So the red yucca has been in bloom, and I believe they're carpenter bees that have been coming and visiting it, particularly this morning. Ooh, I don't know if you can see them right there. But anyways, too close. He wants to come, there he is, see him right there? Leaf litter helps provide shelter for many creatures, including butterflies and moths and bumblebees in different parts of their life cycle, provide shelter, warmth, and protection from predators. So this is Texas primrose. It's got a beautiful yellow flower just starting to bloom, and it's an addition to the garden this year. I added it here because it's close to the road, but very low ground cover, and I think it's going to do very well. So leaf litter also helps a little bit larger animals, frogs, turtles, toads, snakes, salamanders. They all use leaf litter as a place to hide and stay warm during the cold winter months. I can see that. It's a blue-tailed skink in the leaf litter. So I know it's hard to tell, but this section right here is full of native milkweed, both swamp and aquatic. And there was a ton of caterpillars on here, and when my little friend from the Girl Scouts stopped by, I showed her, and she was like, oh, we have to have a sign so people know to look for them. So she made this sign, and I put it up, and they ate all the milkweed, and the caterpillars went someplace to turn into chrysalis. And I just was sitting out here and noticed that there's now an additional 4, so I may need to put the sign back up. Anyways, I want to talk more about the leaves. So leaves are food for things like earthworms, millipedes, snails, a lot of little creatures. And they become the food for ground foraging birds such as robins, wrens, towhees, sparrows, and that's why it's important to have leaf litter in your yard for the food source and to support the birds. Nature is amazing in so many ways. And the artistic director came out to tell me I need to get ready because family's coming over. And as we're talking, a white-throated sparrow, a ground foraging bird, came down into the stream and took a bath. I didn't have the right camera gear, couldn't get a picture, but I'll show you what one looks like. And it's a ground foraging bird, just as we were talking about. So in my community, it's required to have a fence. And this can be an impediment to some wildlife moving around. So one of the things I've done is I've cut the bottom of a couple of the slats to allow wildlife to transit through my yard and garden easily.
So everything I do in the garden is an attempt to improve the environment for wildlife, whether big or small. One morning I was just starting my day when I spotted an opossum who had used my doorway to enter the backyard. Opossums get a bad rap as they eat lots of bugs, including ticks, and they don't carry rabies. I had to wait for him to get closer to get a decent picture, but he passed within 10 feet of me as he went about his early morning routine. There are many times I will just sit and watch for activity in the garden. I was watching a squirrel when I realized Mrs. Squirrel was going up and down the trees to collect leaves for a nest she was building high up in the top of our magnolia tree. Wildlife needs leaves. I am sure you have seen a bird in the spring carrying a leaf to some unknown location to build a nest. We need to encourage more people to leave the leaves where they fall. I knew there was a pine warbler nest someplace in the yard, as I had seen the parents occasionally, but today was different. The baby pine warbler birds had left the nest, and the parents were very busy feeding them. This baby bird was so tired.
Cars go by.
I find every day and it's a pleasure.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it.
Like you consult because my yard's a mess.
I will come for free. I will tell you what I think. You can do what you want. And depending on what you want to do, I may actually help you for free.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So, do you have a second? Let me run and get you a card.
Okay, can I give you mine? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So just met a lady, she's asking for some help. I love it, another project.
Excessive blowing has created a project which can seem overwhelming. We picked a small area with a couple bags of topsoil and mulch, in addition to some free plants I brought. We transformed this area to demonstrate what is possible.
I like to think of leaf litter as the welcome mat to wildlife. Can't see them, but in a layer of leaves, there's a great variety of microorganisms that are key to a functioning ecosystem as they break down leaves and other organic material for other organisms to use. I love trees, I love leaf litter, and combined they give us one more benefit. 90% of caterpillar moths need leaf litter under a tree to complete their life cycle. The moth goes up in the tree, if the host lays an egg, the caterpillar hatches, and it descends actually into the leaf litter to pupate. No leaf litter, it's very difficult for many of those caterpillars to survive. We need more moth caterpillars as they are the main food source for baby birds and many other animals. I hope I've made you think a little bit differently about leaves, in addition to maybe giving you ideas about how to improve the environment, help wildlife, and maybe save a little bit of money. Till the next time we're together, I wish you great success in supporting wildlife around your home, helping the environment, and enjoying the great outdoors. Take care.